Welcome to celebration and congratulations on your achievement. This has been a most unusual year, which will be remembered for an app called Zoom, which turned people into talking heads and arranged them into rectangles. You will remember dressing up nicely from your waist up and living a bizarre half-life. And of course, you'll always remember these three words. Can you guess? You're muted. To unmute and speak up on important issues is the lifeblood of democracy. In ComArtSci, our goal is to serve as a greenhouse, to nurture ideas and for expressions to blossom. As communicators, we are trained to unmute and inform and influence others. Now, we must unmute to become change agents who foster understanding, show kindness and empathy, and to make a difference. Good communication is about telling a good story. And today, I'm looking forward to the great stories that you are willing to share. This event brings out stories that are authentic, drawn from experience, rich with emotion, vivid in imagery, and with a hint of vulnerability. If we have learned one thing from COVID, it is the simple truth that everyone is vulnerable. An important corollary is that we are equally vulnerable to adults, biases, and beliefs. But we cannot let these forces limit our potential as individuals and as a society. We may have recent triumphs in science to celebrate. The COVID vaccine is one. And how about ingenuity? An adorable little drone millions of miles away in Mars that dutifully listens to our commands from Earth. Even as we admire these successes, the biggest challenges of our time might not be in science or technology. I believe the biggest challenge is changing hearts and minds of humans on Earth. As communicators, it's up to you to take on this challenge, to change the hearts and minds of Earthlings, our fellow citizens. You begin by reigniting your story today with this Alumni Award. And as the chapters in your book begin to grow, be willing to share your story. Reach out to others. Remain in touch with us. For it is through simple acts of kindness and connection that we are knit together as Spartans, as a community of green and white, as a nation, and as a planet.
Thank you, Dean David, and welcome to the College of Communication Arts and Sciences Celebration 2021. I'm Brian O'Connor, president of the ComArtSci Alumni Advisory Board and a proud telecommunication alum. The virtual setting you see behind me may have piqued your curiosity about what I do professionally. I serve as Vice President, Brand and Corporate Communications for Princess Cruises, and right now I'm virtually in the 3-story grand piazza atrium of one of our newest cruise ships, Sky Princess. Before we begin the recognition of our honorees, I'd like to tell you about the Alumni Board and our role serving Dean David and the college. Members of the board volunteer and serve as ambassadors of ComArtSci and the university to a global community and vast network of more than 56,000 alums. Each board member brings notable professional experience and industry insights to enrich the student experience. Like our honorees, the Alumni Board is as diverse as the populations and the programs that we serve. The ComArtSci Alumni Board also plays a pivotal role in increasing the value of a ComArtSci degree. Board members provide valuable guidance to build awareness and understanding of the current industry and professional landscape, both for our faculty and students. The board adds value to the college and the university through the contributions of time, expertise, leadership, and financial support. This is my 5th year serving on the board, and I am incredibly proud to lead this team of exceptional alums who are actively engaged and firmly committed to the success of our college and supporting our fellow Spartans as they pursue a world-class education from our consistently top-ranked communication college and degree programs. Finally, they foster lifelong connections with the university directly through the college and to celebrate and honor the success of our outstanding alumni, which is why we are gathered here this evening. The ComArtSci Alumni Awards are presented annually to recognize outstanding achievements across the field of communication, arts, and sciences in all its forms. This year is the 49th year these awards have been presented. The Celebration Alumni Awards has become the signature event of the college and is made possible by the support of our sponsors. We'd like to offer our gratitude to MSU Federal Credit Union, our Spartan premier sponsor, with a special note of appreciation to CEO April Klobus, a ComArtSci Advertising and Public Relations Master's Program alum. We also thank WKAR. Historically, we would gather on campus inside the WKAR studios. For a second year, we celebrate our 2021 alumni honorees virtually with hopes that we can return to campus in 2022. We have alumni, faculty, and students tuning in from across the nation and around the world, and we are honored you chose to join us. So settle in, because it's time to celebrate our 2021 honorees. Dean David, will you please get us started with the staff and faculty awards?
Brian Cush is this year's recipient of the Distinguished Staff Award. Brian is an expert in classroom technology. During the pandemic, Brian showed remarkable resilience and flexibility in moving all our production classes online. One of the folks who wrote a nomination for him said Brian demonstrates a service mentality in all aspects of his work. I'm grateful for his consistent availability and willingness to discuss and support our programs throughout the college. Another person wrote, in my observations, he plays an active and proactive role in every responsibility. He works to build those around him. His work illustrates his commitment to the college and university, and I cannot imagine a better person to be considered for this award. Congratulations, Brian. This year's Leadership Award goes to Teresa Hagelberger, a director of HR. Teresa is willing to have difficult conversations that hold individuals accountable for their actions and can diplomatically coach supervisors, like me, to mentor supervisees through difficult patches, wrote one of the nominators. This skill, while not publicly visible, was instrumental in helping several units navigate particularly troubling situations in recent years, wrote another. Teresa is widely recognized as a thought leader on HR matters. Within our college, she is a strong voice for cohesion and wellness and has implemented team-building activities that have led to a more collaborative and enjoyable workplace.
Teresa. That one is for you. The one on the
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
The recipient of this year's Faculty Excellence Award is Howard Bosson. Howard is one of those professors who has dedicated his life to MSU and our students. He's a journalism professor who teaches photojournalism and visual communication. He is also a writer, scholar with a very sharp intellect. One of my most enjoyable experiences is lunch with Howard. I always leave these encounters thinking of his kind demeanor, knowledge, and insight. As he begins his phased retirement, it is so fitting that he be honored with this award. Here is something one of the students wrote while recommending Howard for this award. On the last day of class, I paused on the way out the door to say my goodbye to Professor Bosson, and he looked at me and said, "What's next?" Admittedly, I didn't have the slightest idea. I had a vague career direction in mind, and I was ashamed to admit that I didn't have my whole life mapped out in front of me. I remember him smirking and telling me that I would be fine and that everything would work out even if it took some time. He didn't do it out of obligation. It was completely evident that he cared. I think that truly defines Dr. Bosson as a professor. He was someone who cared about our learning, cared about our personal growth, cared about our politics and the state of the world, and cared about our voices being heard. You may have encountered professors like Dr. Bosson. Congratulations, Howard.
Thank you, Prabhu, and thank you to the dedicated staff and faculty who work tirelessly and passionately for the students of ComArtSci. I've asked our Alumni Board Executive Committee leaders to join me in introducing you to our honorees. We begin with our Rising Star Award, which recognizes a Spartan who has graduated within the last 10 years and demonstrated success in these early years of their career. To present this year's Rising Star Award, I've asked a past recipient of this award, whom in addition to being an executive committee member, is also chairperson of the Marketing Communications Committee. Here is Erica Hughes to introduce our first alumni honoree.
Thank you, Brian. Good evening, everyone. As a 2018 recipient of the Rising Star Award, it is my distinct pleasure to recognize Michael Smythe as a 2021 Rising Star. Starting as a junior designer at Motion, a Southern California-based creative advertising and marketing agency, he rose quickly to his current role as creative director and director. In this role, Michael leads the development and execution of conceptual live-action commercials and strategic campaigns. Michael also has his Master of Fine Arts from the Peter Stark Producing Program at USC. He is the winner of several Clio and Promax Awards, having directed concepts for The Boys, The Walking Dead, and Fahrenheit 451, just to name a few. Michael is also an accomplished photographer with many credits to his name. Please join me in congratulating Michael. Congratulations, Michael.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the award. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled by it, and it's truly an honor to be a part of the Spartan legacy. To me, the Spartan spirit is about curiosity and exploration. It's about taking risks and preparing yourself to venture beyond your limits. I can tell you from experience that there's nothing more comforting for a new grad than to be able to reach out to this alumni network that is a vast network of shared knowledge and experience and unique perspectives. But what I love about this culture of ours is that it doesn't just exist in the 4-year window of time for a traditional degree. It lasts forever. Trust me, I'm 3,000 miles away and I've never felt closer to my Spartan family. At the end of the day, I'm just an amalgamation of all of the gracious tidbits that were given to me by Spartan alumni in various ways, and that's what compelled me to give back in turn. So to wrap it up, I just want to say thank you again one more time to everyone. I wish I could be there in person with you all, and please, I encourage everyone, keep reaching out to your fellow Spartans. Meet somebody new, even if it's 30 minutes. You could say something that completely unlocks their potential, or potentially they could say something that renews yours.
And now let's meet our Outstanding Alumni Award honorees. The Outstanding Alumni Award is presented annually to alumni who have achieved notable success in their career while demonstrating a commitment to the college. This is an elite group of Spartans who have given back to our college in so many ways. Later in the program, I'm going to share with you where you can find the full bios of all of our 2021 honorees. Our first Outstanding Alumni honoree is Ray DeThorne. Ray serves as the CMO for the Field Museum in Chicago, where he has helped establish the museum as a top scientific institution and attraction, where the public has access to understanding the wonders of the natural world in ways far more leading edge than what is typical for museums today. Previously, Ray spent 31 years at Leo Burnett, creating success for the company and becoming a member of the U.S. executive team, working high-profile accounts like the U.S. Army, which harkens back to his childhood as an Army brat. Additionally, Ray recently completed 6 years as a member of the board of directors, leading the marketing activities for Ronald McDonald House Charity of Chicago and Northwestern Indiana. Please join me in congratulating Ray.
Good evening. Thank you for selecting me for this award. I appreciate the many Spartan ComArts alumni and their contributions to the communications field, to businesses, to government, and to the quality of life of people around the world. To be chosen out of so many accomplished Spartans is especially meaningful. I'd like to thank the people who nominated me and all those who have provided inspiration, motivation, and mentorship along my journey. I would be remiss if I didn't take a minute to mention how important the faculty was in helping me to find my career field, ultimately a job and lifelong adventure as an advertising and marketing professional. There were likely times when they wondered if I would survive advertising 486 and telecom 831 and 832. It's also an honor to receive this award along with the 5 others honored today. Listening to their stories reminded me of what I already knew. Spartans do great things. MSU is a big place, but the ComArts College feels much more intimate and, dare I say, special. When I think about what MSU and ComArts has done for me, it has taught me that the combination of hard work, inspiring leadership, meaningful experience, and most importantly, the ability to work with and influence others is an award-winning formula. This last point, which is another way of saying building strong teams, is in my mind the single most important determiner of success. In this interconnected and complex world, no one can navigate alone. Plus, why would you want to? So thank you for this award, and go green.
Congratulations, Ray. Matt Davis, chair of the Alumni Board Development Committee, is here to introduce our next honoree. Matt, take it away.
Thank you, Brian, and good evening. As a proud 2018 honoree, I am thrilled to recognize our next outstanding alumni, Ryan Field. Ryan is a dedicated MSU graduate of the School of Journalism and likely a familiar face to those of you located on the East Coast who might recognize him as the lead sports anchor on WABC TV in New York. He's a seasoned professional, now beginning his 23rd year in the television industry, and he's a highly respected sports reporter across our nation. He was previously with Fox Sports 1 in Los Angeles, where Ryan was a primary host on Fox Sports Live, as well as the regular host on Major League Baseball on Fox and MLB Whip-Around telecast. Before moving to Los Angeles, he was a correspondent for Fox Sports in Detroit, hosting Pistons, Tigers, and Red Wings coverage. Ryan holds 7, count them, 7 Michigan Emmys, including 2 for Best Sports Anchor. His devotion to Michigan State University is evident in his support for current Spartan students as well as recent graduates, and especially on his social media posts, which are full of Spartan pride. Please join me in congratulating Ryan Field.
Good evening, friends and fellow Spartans. First, I'd like to congratulate my fellow Alumni Award recipients. This is the ultimate recognition from our school, and we should be so proud for all that it represents. I'm truly humbled and honored to be presented with the Outstanding Alumni Award for the year 2021, and a big thank you to everyone responsible for this distinguished nomination. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would not be standing here in the studio at ABC in New York if it weren't for my time at Michigan State. I arrived on campus as a fresh-faced kid in the fall of 1995. Crazy to think that was nearly 26 years ago. From the moment I stepped foot in East Lansing, I knew it was home. The next 4 years would be some of the greatest of my life as I developed lifelong friendships, earned a degree, and jump-started my career. I think back to the time I spent working in the ComArts building, making my TV debut on the Green and White Report, the hours talking sports in the basement of Holden Hall for Impact 89 FM, the time I spent in the classroom learning from the likes of L.A. Dickerson, Folu Ogundimu, Sue Carter, and Jerry Zeldis. In fact, LA was pivotal in getting me an internship at Fox 47 there in Lansing, an unpaid internship back in those days, no doubt. But I sure can't put a price on how important it was in launching my career in sports television. In the years since, I've enjoyed giving back, spending time on campus and visiting classrooms, back when we were allowed to do that sort of thing, of course, talking to students on Zoom, providing them guidance, answering questions, and most of all, reassuring them that everything will be okay as they begin their journey into the real world. When I reflect back on what Michigan State has meant to me and you and so many others, I can't help but think that there are a lot of folks out there who are a little green with envy. We had an experience unlike any other, and we are proud to carry that flag to this day. On the banks of the Red Cedar, there's a school that's known to all. Thank you, Michigan State and the College of Communication, Arts, and Sciences for making my dreams come true. Today and always, go green, go white.
Congratulations, Ryan, showing his Spartan pride in the Big Apple. Now, Anne Marie Schiller, who serves as Vice President on the Executive Committee, will introduce our next honoree. Anne Marie, who is our next outstanding alumni.
Thank you, Brian. Good evening, everyone. I was honored by the Alumni Board in 2013, and I'm pleased to introduce you tonight to Paul Jacobs. Paul started his career as a sales and ad rep at WNIC in Detroit and worked his way up the ranks with ABC, ultimately running radio stations in Detroit and Dallas for a long and exemplary career in radio broadcasting. Since founding Jacobs Media nearly 30 years ago, Paul and his brother Fred, also a ComArtSci grad and 2012 Outstanding Alumni honoree, transformed the company from a radio programming consultancy to a multimedia leader. Paul is a leading spokesperson for digital transformation in the radio industry. He also serves as president of JCAPS, one of the largest mobile application developers, with over 1,300 apps developed worldwide, including for many Michigan broadcasters like MSU's Impact 89. He was inducted into the Michigan Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2016 and received the Rockwell Lifetime Achievement Award from the Conclave in 2019. Please join me in congratulating Paul.
Thank you to the Dean and to the committee for honoring me and this fine group of people this evening. You know, it's a good thing this honor is called the Outstanding Alumni Award and not the Outstanding Student Award, because during my early days at MSU, there is no way I would have been considered for it. In my first 2 years, I had 5 majors, and I flailed about trying to find something that interested me. And then one day I found myself inside the radio studios on the 4th floor of the Union Building, and my life changed, and I haven't looked back. On that hot, sort of grungy, non-air-conditioned floor in the Union Building, it all clicked. I was introduced to a sample of people who had similar interests and passions and who remain part of my career today. Teachers like Larry Estlak and my brother Fred, who received this award a few years ago. And colleagues like Gary Reed, Dr. Ed Cohen, and Steve Schramm, who remain friends to this day. We spent every waking hour in the Union Building learning our craft, but also utilizing the great resources of this university. We created radio ads for business on Grand River Avenue, and we attempted to play DJ on the campus radio stations. But all of those experiences formed me to become the broadcaster that I became. I also want to thank my family, my parents, who pushed me to go to college even when they didn't have the opportunity themselves. My brother Fred, who is also my business partner, my brother Bill, who is a Michigan State ComArtSci alum, and my wife Lori, who has put up with me for 40 years, and my daughter Natalie. All of the success in the world isn't as important as the family foundation I've been blessed with. Finally, of course, I want to thank Michigan State. You provided me the space to wander around. You taught me how to think. You unlocked my passion, and you empowered me to find my place in the radio business and stay there for my entire career. So thank you all very, very much. Thanks for such a great evening.
Congratulations, Paul. Our next Outstanding Alumni Award goes to Dr. Alicia Spohr. After graduating from MSU, Alicia earned her Doctor of Audiology degree from Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. Dr. Spohr opened her own business in 2015 as one of the first in the nation with an unbundled itemized pricing structure to benefit the patient and demonstrate the value of the audiologist. She's the current advocacy chair and a past president of the Academy of Doctors of Audiology. She is also legislative chair and a past president for the Maryland Academy of Audiology. Dr. Spohr is one of America's top leaders in audiology, serving as a distinguished member in state and national organizations, and can frequently be found on Capitol Hill lobbying to advance the profession. Her character, accomplishments, and service exemplify ComArtSci traditions of excellence. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Spohr.
I am proud to be named a 2021 ComArtSci Alumni Award honoree. From a very young age, I knew I would follow in my mother's footsteps and be a Spartan. My father's passion for MSU sports fostered my enthusiasm while at MSU, both inside and outside the classroom. The audiology and speech sciences degree I earned afforded me the opportunity to continue my education at one of the top doctoral programs in the nation. Today, as a leader in the profession of audiology and as a business owner, the Spartan values of integrity, excellence, and innovation have influenced my ongoing success. Additionally, I strive to provide guidance and mentorship to the next generation of audiologists, following the examples of numerous MSU faculty to me. I would like to thank the ComArtSci Alumni Board for this honor, as well as my family for demonstrating the importance of education, and my husband for his love and support. And, as always, go green.
Brian Murray, our multiple Emmy Award and Cannes Lion Award winning director of photography, serves on the executive committee and is here to introduce our next honoree. Brian, take it away.
Good evening. I'm Brian Murray, chair of the Alumni and Student Engagement Committee. I'm also the 2016 recipient of the Rising Star Award. It is my privilege to introduce the final honoree of the evening, Regina Strong. As the environmental public advocate in Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, she leads the state in ensuring all Michiganders benefit equitably from environmental laws and regulations. She is also the Whitmer's administration's chief advisor on environmental justice. For more than 30 years, Regina has been a leader in public relations, public affairs, advocacy, and the fight for justice and equality. She earned her accreditation in PR from Society of America and a senior fellow in the Great Lakes region for the Environmental Leadership Program. Regina is an effective advocate, powerful communicator, and skillful negotiator, having held positions in private, nonprofit, and public sectors, providing a passionate voice for change. Please join me in congratulating Regina. Congrats.
Wow, I am so excited and honored and humbled to be honored with an outstanding alumni for 2021 from the Michigan State University College of Communications, Arts, and Sciences. Anybody who knows me knows I bleed green and white. I am a diehard Spartan. If I see someone in the grocery store, even wearing Spartan gear, I'm always go green. That's me all the way. I was so excited when I was a senior in high school in East Cleveland, Ohio. When I started receiving acceptance letters from colleges, I was the most excited when I went to the mailbox and saw through the envelope, "Congratulations, you're a Spartan." It made me so excited. I ran into the house. I was screaming and jumping around, and my parents were like, "What's going on?" And I told them, I've been accepted at Michigan State University, and this was my dream. And they started looking at the information. They were very excited for me. I have to tell you, my parents met at Miles College, a historically black college in Birmingham, Alabama. So they had a very different view of what college could be. And when my dad saw that there were co-ed dorms at Michigan State, and this was many decades ago, he was less than excited about that. So we made a deal. I could go to Michigan State as long as I stayed in an all-girls dorm. At the time, Rather in Brody Complex was an all-girls dorm. So I said, I'll stay in Rather. And that's where I went. And I have to tell you, that was one of the best decisions of my life because I made lifelong friends while I was at Rather. My sisters in Rather and in Brody Complex really embraced me and became my family. In fact, many of them became my sorority sisters in Delta Sigma Theta, my other family that really embraced me. You know, being part of that sorority and being part of the historically black fraternities and sororities, the Divine Nine on Michigan State's campus, gave me a home, gave me a sense of belonging. That, in combination with the family I found in the College of Communications, Arts, and Sciences, studying with like-minded folks who wanted to change the world, really shaped my future. In fact, I spent time working in the journalism department at Michigan State and in the college. This was way before the building was built. It was in a small building in another part of campus, but it was a big part of my journey at Michigan State. You know, launching as a journalist from that position when I was at Michigan State, it really launched me on a career that I could really only dream of. I actually had the opportunity to work in public relations. I've been a global director of communications for a Fortune 500 company. But where I really found my life's mission in my home is in fighting for justice and in mission-driven work. So really working through public affairs and all the different pieces of how we build relationships with people and fight for justice. And it really took me to where I am now. So I want to say how humbled, how proud I am, how I really wish my parents were here to see this, because they worked so hard to put me through Michigan State University as an out-of-state student. You know, the fees were a little higher. And so they were really proud of me when I graduated. I remember that day in Spartan Stadium well. It was a really warm day, but it was an amazing day. So I want to thank you so much for this award. I really can only dream of having this honor. I am so excited. I also want to thank my sorority sister, Lorna Beard, who nominated me without my knowledge and was so shocked when I received that letter that I cried. So thank you so much. I want you to know that this honor means everything to me, and that I want you to know this is exactly what we mean when we say Spartans will. Because we will succeed, we will support each other, we will continue to be a family. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Regina, and all of our honorees. I encourage you to explore the full bios of each of these outstanding individuals, which are located on the ComArtSci website at comartsci.msu.edu. I'd like to again recognize tonight's sponsors. Our premier sponsor, MSU Federal Credit Union, our partners at WKAR, and my fellow ComArtSci alumni board members who also contribute their time reviewing nominations and selecting our exceptional honorees. Thank you to the advancement team, including Meredith, Melissa, Rachel, Matthew, and Jordan. And thank you to the college communications team, including our student alumni board interns. You all do incredible and creative teamwork producing this virtual event. To our past alumni honorees who have tuned in, thank you for your continued support of our students and the college through internships, class lecture appearances, and financial support. You continue to make ComArtSci proud. In every sector of communication, we have Spartan alumni who are leading the way by challenging the norms and pushing boundaries. We have incredible innovators who have adapted and changed media and communication. We are so proud of our 2021 honorees, as well as all students, faculty, and alumni who represent ComArtSci professionally and proudly. In a year that has been extraordinarily different, we see that no matter the circumstances, we remain confident that Spartans will. For all of you who tuned in tonight, thank you for bringing us into your homes and celebrating together from a distance. If you know an outstanding ComArtSci Spartan alum and would like to nominate them as a candidate for these awards, we are accepting nominations for the 50th celebration next year in 2022. Information is available on our website at comartsci.msu.edu. We'd also like to celebrate the new connections we've made across a variety of virtual platforms. Alumni from around the globe have shared their stories and experiences with each other and have connected with students on the ComArtSci Connect mentoring platform. Thank you for embracing these opportunities and making the most of our Spartan network. For those alums tuning in, we encourage you to learn more about the many ways you can engage with the college and support our students and the faculty in their commitment and continued quest to deliver a world-class education. Go online to comartsci.msu.edu and search Get Involved. Our tradition for completing the celebration is to show our Spartan spirit. Here is the Spartan Marching Band playing our fight song, Victory for MSU. Go green, go white, let's go state.